All right, what's up, guys? Another video, commentary. I feel like it's been pretty hard trying to make sure I can commentate over these videos, especially with what I have going on with school and whatnot. This right here, arm workout, very simple. Five exercises, but four exercises that hit my arms. One of them for my abdomen, which is sit-ups, which is all the way at the end. But the topic for today's video is balance. Finding balance. I feel like right now I'm still in the process of trying to find a balance with between my personal life, school, work, working out. Trying to make content, even with my own personal projects. Um, I feel like I have a good balance, especially when it comes to school, right? School and working out and my own personal life. I have basically one day, or I say a day and a half dedicated to, my own personal things, which would be like Thursday and Friday. And then, every other day of the week is dedicated to work and schoolwork, right? I work, all throughout the weekend, but Friday is my free day. I still have to go to school Thursday, but I get off of school early, so I don't really have to worry about being swamped with a bunch of work that's due, like, the next day or whatever. Uh, but right now, I'd say I have a good balance. I think when it comes to my own social life, I feel like I don't maybe hang out a lot when hang out with friends and whatnot. But then again, my friends, right, at the moment, I don't really have like friends at my school, at my college. I go to college, by the way. But, outside of school, friends that I've, known since high school, I still hang out with them. But, we are all like busy. We all be busy. So we can't really hang out that as often as we'd probably like, right? Like, I think Friday we were supposed to hang out, but, we couldn't. One of my friends ended up having to go out of town. So we had to put that on the back burner for the Friday after that. But the Friday after that, I think I'm gonna be busy because I'm pretty sure I have to actually go to school that this time for something else. But when I think about balance, you know, I'm also thinking of others, like people around me. A lot of people at my school. I mean, I don't want to criticize them. I mean, they might have other things going on in their life. I don't know. But they seem to also feel swamped with their schoolwork as well, which makes sense. I think just that's just the average experience for any college student, whatsoever. Especially with an art school, right? They're probably just a lot more work, and you have to use kind of the creative muscle a lot more, right? It's not like I can make a painting and then just work on math homework. Those are like two different skills, but making a painting and then making like a charcoal drawing, those kind of use like the same brain muscles in a way. But with other students, it seems like some of them might not have the best balance, right? Some of them miss classes. Some of them say they pull all-nighters and whatnot. You know, one person, this might be a good couple of people, but one person told me that, like, oh, I'm gonna have to take Adderall so I can pull an all-nighter tonight to work on this assignment. And I'm like, bro, I would not. I mean, I didn't say anything. I just kind of like, whoa. I was like, okay, and I nodded my head. But I'm just like, whoa, Adderall? Folks are taking drugs to focus on school? It's crazy. With students, I feel like if you're just a student and you're not like a mother or father, and you live in your own place and you're paying like a bunch of bills and stuff like that, I don't see the reason why you might have to take Adderall, or why you might have to compromise your sleep like that. Maybe if you do have like some heavy social life, You like to go out a lot. You like to spend the late nights with your friends and whatever. Honestly, bro, check your priorities. Check your priorities because nine times out of ten, you're out with your friends. You're probably gonna be spending money. You're probably gonna be doing some type of behavior that won't really benefit you right when you wake up in the next morning, or if you even wake up in the next morning, assuming you didn't just stay up the entire night, right? And then that'll just compromise you for all the actual productive work that you have to do later in the day, or later, in general, right? You could have been doing that earlier instead of hanging out with your friends, right? Like sleep is a very productive thing to do. I mean, it's like literally charging your batteries, right? You wouldn't go without charging your phone, right? We practically need our phone in this modern day and age, and we're always going to charge our phone before we go out, or we're going to charge it overnight, whatever. We always want our phone to have a good, some good juice in it. So treat yourself that same way. You want to every night put yourself on the charger. Probably get at least a good 6 hours of sleep. Recommended 8, but if you're really that busy, 6 hours. I know I haven't been sleeping as well as I used to. I'm probably averaging like 6 hours of sleep, maybe 5 at the lowest. But I always try and make sure I sleep at night. I don't feel like there's any reason for me to be staying up really late at night. For any reason, right? I don't necessarily go out a lot. In general, I don't like to do a lot of things late at night. I really like to sleep late at night. Or if I'm up at all late at night, I don't want to be doing any type of work. So I always try and make sure, anything productive I do has to be done whilst the sun is up, or before a certain time, right? I always try and make sure I finish my schoolwork and other stuff. Even when it comes to videos, I always want to make sure I complete all that stuff before 12:30 a.m., right? So then I can go to sleep, wake up, get some good sleep, and not have to try and hustle even harder the next day. Earlier with what I said with hanging out with friends, it's okay to hang out with friends, but in terms of how you're spending that time and what you guys are doing, is this something that's going to impede on your productivity? Is this going to be something that is going to hold you back? Are these friends that you're hanging out with, are you guys only doing behavior that can be considered degenerate almost? So just, check your surroundings, know who it is that you're hanging out with, and, see if they have their own priorities in check. Do they want to hang out every night and almost seem to never do anything productive? Are they always out doing this or doing that, doing things that damage their bodies over time, right? You want to be having friends that, in general, are on the same path as you, right? You become the people that you are closest with. And if you are closest with a bunch of, drunks and, I don't know, potheads, and a bunch of people who can be considered degenerate, then you're gonna end up like that, right? Like it might be fun doing all that stuff, but in the long run, is it going to benefit you? In the long run, is it going to help you out with anything? In the long run, is it going to be a complete waste of your time? And even money too. I mean, you're hanging out with your friends, you're gonna end up spending money. When I hang out with my girlfriend, I spend money almost every time. And when I'm hanging out with my friends, I'm almost always spending money. We don't do anything that is, I say, bad in particular, right? We're not going out drinking or smoking, or, we're not going to clubs and parties. I'm personally not interested in that. A good amount of my friends aren't interested in that. My girlfriend isn't interested in doing any of that. But, still, the money, right? If you're constantly doing all that stuff, you won't be saving any money. If you have a job, right? Let's say you're watching this and you have a job and you make money, and, you don't already make that much, but you're going to go out, week to week, or, every other week, or, maybe multiple times out of the week, you're going to be spending so much damn money for what, bro? for something that isn't really going to yield any benefits, right? So there needs to be a balance with everything. You can hang out with friends, you guys can go to late night club nights and drink and smoke, whatever. If you find that stuff fun, if you find that stuff interesting, but remember do that stuff in excess. Honestly, do that stuff every once in a while. Don't do that stuff week to week, right? At the end of your week or every other week. Do that stuff every couple of months, right? Do that stuff on a very special celebration, like you're getting married, or nah, not even if you're getting married, honestly. Let's say your birthday, or you just got like a big win in your life, like a big promotion or a big business move, things like that. Maybe you just graduated, something that will make a lot more sense to spend that type of money, to spend that type of time, to partake in that type of behavior, right? You know, let off some steam. But you can let off some steam, week to week, day to day in different ways, right? You don't have to smoke every day. You don't have to drink every day. You don't have to stay up late at night watching Netflix every day. But you can do things like working out. You can do things like journaling. You can do things like meditation. And also doing all of that, I guess, chill stuff, fun stuff. It's a lot more fun. It's a lot more enjoyable when you don't have to worry about the stress that you kind of end up putting onto yourself, day to day, because you didn't want to sit down and just go through the work. You didn't want to sit down and focus on what was important, what you needed to prioritize, right? So when you're sitting down watching Netflix, or when you're getting high late at night, you're just gonna kind of with have guilt in the back of your mind, about like, oh man, I could be doing such and such, instead of doing this. And then when you're all done with it, you're gonna be like, oh man, I could have spent my time doing this. I could have spent my time catching up on schoolwork. I could have spent my time trying to do something more creative or more productive. I could have spent my time working out. You're always going to be thinking of what you could have done instead of trying to focus on what you should be doing now in order to keep that from happening. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to think about it, you're going to feel bad about it, and later on you're going to do the same exact thing over and over. Years are going to pass by and you're going to wonder why you haven't done shit. You're going to wonder why you haven't gone anywhere. So, just kind of prioritize your future self, right? Would you want your future self to live a balanced life and be healthy and be in a great state of mind? Or would you want your future self to be, aging horribly in a wheelchair, living with a bunch of regrets, and, looking back on life, with a what if attitude? But that's it, guys. See you in the next one.